TDS, especially recently, has been getting more and more greedy. Older features that were much less pay to win have been revamped to be more pay to win, or just started as greedy in the first place. I'll go over many of the incredibly greedy practices TDS does, and other practices that might have been made from bad to worse. The first thing I'd like to talk about is event towers, specifically event tower reruns. Event towers are, in my opinion, completely terrible. An exclusive tower from an event is bad from the beginning, since it stops some players from getting it, but the vicious cycle of event towers are even worse. Let's say there's an old event tower that is getting reworked. They're going to re-release it for Robux. Nothing is stopping that. But in general, these towers are usually insanely overpowered, like reworked Swarmer or Archer. This makes some players spend the Robux to buy these towers, since some didn't have them. Whether it be for being terrible at the game at the time, or just not even being around to play the event at all. Like, how could I expect someone to been playing the game since 2019? These towers are almost always put on sale right after the rework, so most players buy them right away. Then, in a few days, maybe even a few weeks, the tower gets nerfed into oblivion. This has happened pretty badly with Archer, making it not be able to detect flying, but also nerfing the damage of it. This feels like a very scummy way to get people to buy towers and then completely nerfing them, stopping any use they might have gone from the event tower. This is scummy and also a terrible way to balance the game. And then there's the other end of the stick. Gladiator is a prime example of an event tower that was too strong for too long. Gladiator in its prime was insanely broken. If you didn't have this tower, it was almost impossible to beat anyone with it in a speedrun. It made badges like Quick Draw so much harder. This let the devs farm so much money off of people who could afford the Gladiator, but it was insanely demotivating for people who couldn't afford it. Gladiator did eventually, like all event towers, get nerfed to oblivion and obscurity. And general, my point is, event towers are a very greedy and scummy way and are very, very, very bad for the game. Next up, skin crates. More specifically, deluxe and ultimate skins. Deluxe skin crates, for how many skins there are, take an arm and a leg to get all of the skins from the crate. Some of these skins are incredible too, so free-to-play players have no option but terrible odds on a spinning wheel. By the way, I remade some of the odds on Wheel of Names, and the chances of you getting it are so small that you can barely even see that I wrote the word crate on it. Ultimate skins are another example of greed. 800 Robux for a skin is a waste. You could buy Cowboy, an actually usable tower, for less. There was so much backlash on it that when Corso made an interview with the devs in a very long time ago video, this was a main talking point. They said instead of Robux, it should be a mission quest that is insanely hard / grindy with an 800 Robux skin. You wanna know what they did instead? Dropped another ultimate skin for 800 Robux. Thankfully, they haven't made any of these in a while, so it's not that bad. I prefer the monetizing skins over towers anyway, but the fact that it's nearly impossible for a free-to-play player to easily and consistently get deluxe crates is vile. Also, if you enjoyed the video so far, please consider subscribing. You don't have to, but it helps. Thanks. The next system I'd like to talk about is mission quests. I think the daily quests and weekly quests are fine. There's nothing really much to say other than it's basic things for progression that are quite nice. But missions, I dislike them a lot. The problem with missions is how monotonous they are. It's always be X game mode with X tower, X times, deal X damage with X tower, kill X amount of enemies with X tower, beat X map on X difficulty with X tower, etc. This format and overall homogeneous design makes quests feel more like a chore, especially when it requires you to beat hardcore mode. Please rework hardcore mode. And sometimes they even make you beat hardcore mode twice. This system feels like it's almost entirely designed to make you click the big green skip button, which costs Robux by the way, so they make a quick bag and you get the skin. Do I prefer this system over skin crates? Yes. But these missions, considering that you can't even select the last 3 in the menu, are incredibly grindy and boring, and do nothing but kinda just inflate player count and add meaningless content. Another system we're going to go over is battle passes. Battle Passes back in the day were better since there wasn't a premium version and you'd get all the event skins for free. But nowadays, the system has not only added more levels, but a premium version of the Battle Pass. Battle Passes have been in the game ever since Halloween 2022, and I think from the start, they were terrible. I'd much rather buy a skin crate with coins I've been hoarding since 1992 than grinding an event that gets insanely repetitive after a few games. The same can be said for Hardcore Mode, which, in all honesty, that's even worse, requiring tens of hours to get one tower that breaks your game in the case of Hacker. They also tend to put worse skins in the free variant of the Battle Pass, which gives you more of an incentive to buy the pay one, rather than giving all the good stuff for free. That's why I prefer old Battle Passes to newer ones, but Battle Passes in general just shouldn't exist, since they are insanely grindy. Last, and very certainly not least, is Sandbox Mode. More specifically, the absolute scam that is Admin Mode. Admin Mode does almost nothing for you, despite the countless features it was said to have. Admin Mode is 7,999 Robux. Basically, 8,000. What do you get? I honestly don't even know. Faster timescale? Ability to pick more maps? That's basically it. I don't know. They promised us that we could spawn anything without a logbook, which you can't do. They promised that you could summon old event enemies, which you can't do without the logbooks. They promised that you could play old maps, which you can't do. Many features that were promised for admin mode were left almost entirely out of admin mode. And this is with its enormous price tag of 8,000 Robux. That's $80. This borderline scamming is so lucrative to the people who actually bought the Game Pass, which is rest in peace to Cosmicious, that it seems borderline illegal. They need to add the promised features to admin mode soon, or else admin mode, in my opinion, will go down as the biggest scam in TDS history. There are a few more things I could go over, like the spinning wheel, but I already kind of went over that, since the only good things in that are the Lux trait and the 4 high-grade crates, which you have a 0.28% chance to get, by the way. All in all, I think TDS has some very greedy and scummy tactics that I personally cannot excuse. I think skin monetization and, in all honesty, Battle Pass systems are alright, but event towers and very, very much admin mode are unacceptably bad and need to be changed. Anyway, thank you all for sticking around. Hopefully they'll catch you all in the next video. See ya.